Pisces energy, which is the water element and represented by the fish. So this flow is going to help us embrace those Piscean energies and help us understand and relate to the Piscean energy in us, and how if we're not a Pisces in our main zodiac sign, how we can utilize that energy to bring more balance to our sign, because each one has its purpose and its place and its role. And when we can learn about all the different 12 zodiacs, like the 12 months and the 12 hours, and how we can then help to flow our habits and our patterns with nature, we can gain so much more benefit from that. And like we say, we're then flowing upstream, or we're flowing with nature as opposed to flowing against it. So the benefits from that are going to be plentiful. So we're going to start today off with honoring the water element, doing a water ceremony. And for those of you with just a little bit of my background, one of my facets is also a Reiki master teacher, instructor. I've been hosting and practicing Reiki since 2014, the end of 2014. And I became a master in 2015 because I just started to understand how my knowledge of electromagnetic pulse therapy and of the cells then correlated to Reiki. I started to bridge the science and the spirituality together and realize that they were talking about the same thing, and I just had to break it down to vibration, the ideas, thoughts, feelings, and actions, the atoms, the molecules, the protons, neutrons, electrons, to actually figure out and reverse my own failing health, which then opened up a whole new world of healthcare and understanding and perspective of life. And that's what Pisces energy can help us do. With it being the 12th zodiac sign, it's very sensitive in vibration. It's very high in vibration. And the Pisces energy, with being that water element, can almost come across very airy or aloof or whimsical, and we're very much focusing on the imagination when we're bringing in the Piscean energy. And so with today's practice, we're going to ignite our imaginations and get into those elevators and rise up, raise our vibration to the 5th level, the 5th dimension, explore what that means to us on a human level, and then how we can better understand ourselves as a result of that. So now, it is not required to have these items or the playlist to be in this class. Just use your imagination, and you can just grab a regular glass of water. We try to get something that's fluoride free. And then even if you have 1 or 2 crystals, just get what you have. Even any favorite rocks that you may have collected around the house. And I'll be playing the playlist here live, so you can also view it from there. I will be giving cues for different props that you can use to help to support you in the postures, but the equipment is not necessary either. Things like books, pillows, cushions, comforters of all different shapes and sizes can help, as you will just in a way shove them into little nooks and crannies to assist your body and then being able to meld deeper into the posture. And we'll have a few more countdown, everyone, if they're getting the rest of their stuff. And we'll get started here with placing your lemon water just in front of you. And coming to a comfortable seat. In our previous classes, we've explored different seats of discipline to allow you to get further beyond the physical regions and limitations of the mind and get a little deeper into the pose. So whichever posture allows you to not focus so much on what's physically going on, and ability to then shift into the subconscious and to start observing what's going on internally. So if Sukhasana and crossing at the ankles is difficult for you, you might want to come into Thunderbolts pose with the legs behind you, sitting your bum in between the heels. And if that's not available for you, extending the legs out straight in front of you, but remembering to keep your spine long and tall and erect. As well as propping a blanket, a cushion, a pillow, just underneath the sits bones to elevate the hips over the knees to create space. And we're going to highlight that word space today, as that is what we would call the elements of the fifth dimension or fifth chakra. We've explored earth, water, fire as we've gone into the first, second, and third, along with fourth, the air last week. And the makeup of all of those elements is ether, the fifth dimension. And so we're going to explore our bigger picture as we go into our practice right now. Beginning with staring and taking a glance into your water. And then just becoming aware of the space around you. You can even start to look around, the stuff in the room, the walls. Noticing the temperature, the feel of your clothes against your skin, any scent or sounds in the background, children going to bed or not, animals lurking around, cars in the distance on the road. And then bring your awareness to your playlist. And if you're joining with us today, you can press play on that now. And then start to soften the gaze. And glance almost like you're staring through the water. And bring awareness to the breath. On the inhale, imagine your spine like a rose trying to push through concrete. And with each inhale, the spine, the stem of the rose gets longer and taller and stronger. And with each exhale, it lets go of any limitations or ideas that it cannot break free or through the cement above it. Staring through the water, focusing on the breath, the combination of H2O. That of what makes up the water element here in our Pisces season. Breathing in the oxygen, which is extremely reactive when it is not paired with the purest element, hydrogen. As you gaze amongst the water in the glass, visualizing your rose growing longer and taller and stronger with each inhale. And with each exhale, releasing another limitation that it has placed on itself. And maybe during this time, your mind starts to travel and wander, and memories begin to arise about any of these limitations that have been placed on yourself, this rose. And if that is what you are experiencing, do not block that or lock those memories out, or numb or suppress them. Quite the contrary, invite them in. Just as you looked around at the space before we settled in, know you're safe. Homing at home. Holding space for yourselves to curiously explore and further understand their behaviors, patterns, habits, and the ideas that have birthed all of the above. On the next inhalation, bring awareness to the sit bone and magnetize it to the earth. And on the exhale, grow even taller and bring awareness to the crown. Imagine a string, pulling it up to the sky, and then settle into a slight tuck of the chin into the chest. And just slightly shift forward and grab your water with both hands. The left will wrap around the jars, the right places under the bottom. Big inhale into the belly and close the eyes. Hold the breath at the top, relax the shoulders, relax the face, smile, and then exhale out the mouth. Imagine a bright blue light beam coming down through the very crown, the pituitary gland, the center of the head, the brain, all the way down the main governing channel into the spine. Assisting the blue hue, you can imagine a brilliant blue sky on a beautiful clear day. And hold that hue in your mind's eye, even if it's like a daydream. You can't quite see it, and the color doesn't come up behind your eyes, but you have the ability to daydream. So you have the ability to unlock, unblur, uncalcify any crust or rust, and clear out your mind, your vision, using your own tools, your breath, and your intention to do so. As this blue light begins to descend down into the shoulders and the heart, through the arms, allow it to pass through the palms of your hands into your water. And state out loud or to yourself, I ask this water to be alchemized to the most aligned vibration for my unique cellular charge. Assist my internal waters, my nadis, my rivers, my lines of communication that pass energy and information through all my systems to be flowing fluidly. And with the assistance of this water ceremony, can I purify and charge all of my cells, releasing any limits or fears or doubts, and washing any false feelings that were never needed back into Mother Earth for a better use. And when you're ready, you can take a big drink of your water. Notice the taste, the texture, the quality, The feel of it against your throat. And then on your next sip, almost like eat the water, chew on it. And then hold the water against your chest, against your heart. Taking a final big breath in, thanking the water in your cup and the water in your body for allowing you to flow fluidly and with more ease and grace, as that is your intention to do so from this moment on. And then you can place your water just sweetly off to the side, somewhere you won't hit it with your limbs. And we're going to come down onto our backs. And for my expecting mothers and those who need modifications, taking a blanket or comforter underneath your back to create a little lift for the upper back will assist in taking some weight off. And that will look like such. For those who are in need of those modifications, you'll be coming all the way down to the earth. And take a slow, sweet journey there, rolling through the spine. Good. Your feet can stay standing into the earth. Knees will be hip-width distance apart. And become mindful of all parts of the body that are connecting to the yoga mat, to the earth, and all parts that are not. And then press your feet into the earth to press your back of your body, the back of your head into the yoga mat even more intensely. And on an inhale, press a little harder. And on the exhale, release a sigh through the mouth and release any pressure on the back. Bring your hands down beside you to support you against the earth and slowly begin to draw your knees into the chest. And we're going to take circles with our knees away from each other. So our knees are almost going to be drawing a heart shape at the top. And then coming together at the bottom. So big, nice wide circles with the soles of the feet together. Really press down through the sacrum to support you in the back of the head and the hands. And on the inhale, draw the knees in towards the chest. And on the exhale, splay the knees away, pushing them away from the body. And then on the inhale, draw them in. Exhale away. Inhale towards the chest. Exhale, toes towards the end of the yoga mat. And then take a few rounds sinking to your inhales and exhales. Just breathing in through the lower body and the hips. And working through any crunchiness or stickiness or tar that you might feel. And if you find any area that needs a little extra love, just send it a breath. We're here for just one more round. Draw the knees into the chest. Wrap your hands around them, giving them a hug. Draw your nose up towards your knees. Tiny little squeeze. And while you're in this seat, asking for the intention you'd like to set for your practice today as we explore the fifth dimension in this Pisces season and Pisces super new moon. So very concentrated, creative energy present. And then lower your head back down once your intention has been set. And lower your feet back down to the earth. Inhale your right arm above your head, setting it down on the earth over the head. And then inhale, begin to elevate your hips up towards the sky. Pressing the soles of your feet into the earth. Now bring awareness to the backs of your shoulders. And keep your nose in line with your navel to protect your neck. And begin to breathe into the back of the body, to the back of the heart. And on the exhale, lower the hips down to the earth. Lower the right arm down beside you. And inhale the left arm above the head. Exhale to settle the arm down. And inhale the hips up to the sky. Pressing through the fronts of the shins and the soles of the feet. Slight engagement in the core. No hypertension in the glutes, no squeeze of the bum. Pressing through the soles of the feet and the shins. And lifting the navel up to the sky. Breathing into the backs of the shoulders. And on the next exhale, lowering the hips down to the earth. Followed by the left arm. And then from here, we're going to roll over onto our right side. And bring our hands out in front of us to support us on our forearms. Now we want to imagine we're like a mermaid and the legs are just one long source connected to the body. And as we prop up on the right forearm with the palm of the hand in front of us, I'm just going to pull my shirt back here to lift you. We want to feel a stretch through the right side of the side body in the rib cage. So we'll press down through the forearm and lift through the rib cage. And then press down through the right hip. So as you magnetize the right hip to the earth, and you lift through the rib cage and press through the forearm, you should feel that nice stretch through the right side of the body. And then you have the opportunity here to release your mermaid tail and prop your the top leg in front of you, planting the sole of the foot into the earth with the toes pointing forward. And press down through the sole of the foot and lift up even higher, stretching through the side body. And then while we're here, we're just going to drop our chin completely down into our chest. And close our eyes. As we arrive in our first long-held posture. And continue our journey through the dimensions. Remember to come 1 degree or 2 or 3 out of your comfort zone, as that is the experience we are aiming for in Yin. This practice then teaches us how our nervous system responds and reacts when we are then in a situation in which we are being asked to come out of a zone of comfort or convenience. And when this is happening to us in our life, we might look at it as a negative thing, but really it's happening for us. We just need to shift our perspective, our view, into understanding everything is happening for us. So as wild and scary as those experiences and situations can be, and traumatic and grief-inducing, when we can understand how they were created and manifested and what all contributed into that happening, we can then process on a cellularly, on a physiological level as well, this information systematically in a way that it does not create imbalance within our body. So when we label these experiences wrong, when we view them falsely, when our idea of what is happening or has happened is incorrect or missing information, then our system can't process it. And we will experience this as humans, as not being able to digest or understand or even how the heck did that just happen. Note those experiences that might be triggering for you now as I bring that to light. Enlightenment. And then on your next inhale, as these memories begin to swirl and twirl, you can release the top leg back down into your mermaid tail. And then slowly, you might notice a lot of pressure or tension on the right arm. Begin to press your left arm down into the earth, lowering your right shoulder down to the ground. And then just rolling onto the back body, very gently, as we prepare for this pose on the other side. You at home will just simply turn over onto your left side to prepare. But I will do a little different so that you can see me. Rising onto the left forearm with the fingertips in front of you. Stacking the right leg on top of the left. Pressing the left hip and the left forearm into the earth to lift the left side of the rib cage until you feel the stretch. And if needed, releasing your mermaid tail, the bind, and stepping the top right leg in front of you with the toes pointing forwards to support you. Once you have found that lift and the stretch, where you feel a little out of your comfort zone, drop your chin into your chest. Close your eyes. And begin to settle back into those memories that you started to stir. Keeping note at all times that you are safe and you are secure and you have a right to be here, journeying through your timeline, your memories, to create more clarity and understanding of where you've been, so that you can learn from what you've done. Self-reflection, and how just the willingness to do so can shift and heighten your energy. So we left off last class with the ideas that we get, these little nudges or wiggles that sometimes then start to be repetitive. The subliminal messages from our subconscious, our feminine energy and principles, which dominate the Pisces, the right brain, the air and the water elements, the creatives, and on the ladder we have the left brain, the fire, and the earth, those of logic. And when we can ignite and activate all parts of ourselves, how we can balance and become whole. Breathing up and down the side of the body. Opening up what is present as we clear out the past and take away any cement or limits or doubts or fears we have placed on our future. And on your next inhalation, bringing awareness back into the hands. And we're going to very sweetly begin to turn over on towards our stomachs, placing our hands in front of us, just arriving in a tabletop position, bringing the big toes together and sinking the sit bones back towards the heels, knees wide apart. And we'll slide our left arm out in front of us, inhaling our right arm up to the sky. And then we're going to weave it through the left arm and the leg, relaxing down onto our right shoulder and right cheek. Now, if that is not available for some, you will simply walk your hands over towards the right hand side, feeling the stretch along the left side of the body, leaving room for the belly mama, and relaxing the chin all the way down, releasing any tension in the neck. And if you'd like to take a pillow or cushion underneath you to make it that much more yummy, listen to that nudge from your body. Draw the left hand towards you. If you're in our child pose with a twist. Then press your right shoulder into the earth. And breathe up and down the spine. That brilliant blue hue. To ignite the throat, the fifth dimension of expression. The makeup of all the four base elements, air, fire, water, and earth. The first four floors we've explored. Creating space, ether, and that of how we express ourselves to ourselves, to our family, our friends, the versions that we are in the different scenarios and situations that we create for ourselves. So visualize your elevator door with a button in front of you. Noticing if it's any different this week, and if you feel any different as you arrive. If you're more eager or ready, or feel more resistance, or maybe blasé or contentment. Whatever it is, just note it. And on the next inhalation, if you're in our child's pose with a twist, begin to slide the right arm out of the bind, reaching the right arm in front of you, lowering your forehead down to the earth for the child's pose. And for my modified posture, you'll just begin to walk your hands back towards the center and join in lowering your forehead down to the earth as well. Now from here, place your chin, if it's available, down on the yoga mat to get a stretch through the front of the neck and the throat. Keeping your awareness on your elevator as you press the button in your daydream and get into the elevator. And again, note if any songs are playing. that travel you to any memories within your Akashic records, which is just the same as our cell memory, which is the same as our cell and self-worth. The makeup of all of our experiences, the quality and quantity of them, will make up our cellular charge. This makes up our field of awareness, our auric field, and that of which through our lessons and experiences in life we are to grow and expand and evolve. And if you imagine, just like a baby in a belly, through the feeding of our own ideas, thoughts, and feelings and actions, the baby grows. It expands its awareness of itself and of life and of the world around it. And that journey is to never stop. We are to continue growing and evolving and expanding that self-centeredness, and expand our awareness into other versions of ourselves and other species and other faucets and other races and other cultures. And through these explorations of the other versions and direct derivatives of the original consciousness that we come from, we begin to connect back to ourselves. We become more whole, more rounded, more aware. On your next inhalation, begin to slide the hands back towards you as you roll and arc through the spine, drawing the knees together. And you can bring the feet on the outsides of the seat and just lower your bum down to the earth if it's available for you. If this is not, just extend the legs out in front of you, either one or both legs. And we're going to inhale our arms up towards the sky and interlace our fingers together, creating a nest to hold the back of our head. And then we're going to use the weight of our arms, our wings, and gravity to lower our chin down to our chest, keeping tall through the spine, pressing through the earth, drawing the navel slightly in. Inhale, puffing the chest up to the sky. And exhale, allowing the arms to get heavy, drawing the head even closer towards the heart without compromising the stem of the rose, the spine, keeping it long and tall. And then you're going to send yourself up to the 5th floor in the elevator. And notice how you feel in your hypnosis state, in your subconscious mind, without any judgment or criticism, taking a bird's eye view to observe and give yourself a broader perspective. How you tick and talk. And when you're ready, you can get out into that 5th floor. And like stated before, if you've reached the age of 50, you can explore this decade and notice the ideas and thoughts and feelings and actions and relationships and routines that you had at this time in your life, and what life looked like, and what your idea of this stage of life should be in accordance to the programming and the learned behavior and the societal norms. And if you have not, we then explore how we choose to express ourselves in all the different situations we've created for ourselves. What personality, who do you portray with your mom, with your dad, with your friends, with your partner, with your fill in the blank? How many different masks have you created? Can you be yourself and stand in what you know and what you feel to be true, separate from others? How do you talk to yourself? How do you listen to yourself or others? Slowly begin to press the back of the head into the hand, creating a little resistance, drawing the crown back up to the sky, lifting the gaze. And on the exhale, release the bind and just let the hands soften and the palms rest on the tops of the thighs. Inhale, draw the spine tall. Exhale, shoulders roll down the back. And just feel what you're experiencing right now with everything we've stirred up thus far. Finding your organic breath. We're going to begin to slide the hands forward, passing through tabletop position, going onto the ball of the feet, and pressing the tailbone up and back to a very active downward dog. Stretch the tailbone up to the sky. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. And then lower the knees back down to the earth. Bring the big toes together, knees come up nice and wide. Keeping the right palm connected to the earth. Inhaling the left arm up to the sky. And exhaling, needle, waving it through. And lowering down onto the left cheek and the left shoulder. And bringing the torso down in between the legs. And for my expecting mothers and those modified, you will just walk the hands towards the left side, bringing a prop, a pillow, a blanket, a cushion, or just resting the forehead down to the earth. Wherever you have landed, wherever you have settled in, find where there is the most tension and send that area some breath. Draw the right hand towards you, just pulling the mat towards you, feeling that stretch, while pressing the outside of the left shoulder into the earth. And then soaring into your breath. And riding it like a wave back into your elevator. Feeling a long spine, igniting the blue-hued breath to assist you in activating the throat. As we explore our belief systems that then create our ideas, that trickle down into thoughts, that then evoke feelings, that will then drive action. And with the Piscean, very high vibrational sensitive energy and its extreme amounts of femininity, simply meaning the elements air and water, which all humans, we are both feminine and masculine in principle and require and need both to function. When we say we're just feminine, we're saying, I just have ideas and feelings. I don't have any thoughts or actions. And when we say we're just masculine, we say, well, I just have thoughts and actions. I don't have any ideas or feelings. So we're saying we're just right or left brain. We're just yin or just yang. But we are bipolar in energy. And both are beautiful, but both need healing and clearing out of their false ideas about their own energies and elements, their own self. Allow a big inhale to build through the belly, up into the chest, all the way into the brain. And exhale a big sigh. Let something go. Clear out some obstructed space, any false ideas or thoughts or feelings, or perspectives or definitions. As that is all what's governing this fifth dimension. The ether, or energy, this bigger picture view, can be obtained by our willingness to take a step back and not take things personally. Realize we are part of a much bigger picture, and then as to learn our part, to learn our purpose, is part of the fun, part of the journey, in connecting back to the collective and becoming whole, feeling any void in life be cleared, that need to fill something with distraction or sound or experience. We can gain a sense of contentment by finding a balance within our nervous systems, by gaining a full picture view of all of our happenings. This is what brings the contentment to the self, the peace of mind. On your next inhale, we'll begin to work our way out of the pose. Drawing the left arm towards you. And those in modified, beginning to walk both hands back towards the center. And setting the chin, if it's available, down on the earth. And if that's too much, the forehead. Finding your organic breath and just noticing any reactions. Within the chemicals of your cells. From our meditative and movement practice. Inhale, begin to slide the hands back towards you. Lifting your bum off your heels. Taking your hands behind your back with your fingertips pointing up towards your shoulders. And the palms of your hands pressing into your sacrum. You're going to press your navel and your pubic bone and the fronts of your shins forward while pressing the shins and the tops of the feet down into the earth. Pressing the palms of the hands in towards the sacrum. Inhaling, puffing the ribs in the chest up towards the sky. Keeping your chin in towards your chest. Drawing your elbows towards one another. And as you inhale through the belly, puff up the chest. Scoop the back of your heart up towards the sky. And exhale through the back of the body. Inhale up the front of the body. Exhale out down the back of the body. And if it's available to you, you can begin to send your head back, opening the throat, keeping the chin in line with the navel, just to where it feels good for you. Be very careful, slow movements. We're here for 2 more breaths. And slowly draw chin back towards chest. And begin to lower your hands down towards the earth, drawing the top of your head down towards your yoga mat. Just shifting and rolling onto the back of the neck, feeling the stretch down the spine, rolling through the top of the crown. Like so. And the farther you lean forward, the deeper you'll get into the spine. Massaging the very top, crown and pineal gland, forehead, and temples into the earth. And then lowering your sit bones down to your heels, sending your feet out in front of you. And we're going to make our way down for a Starvasana. So we're going to come into a star shape with our 5 crystals for a crystal Starvasana. So for my extremely pregnant mamas and those who need modification, you're going to be in fetal position with props if you have them, just cozying up around belly. And you can place your crystals once you're down there anywhere that they can fit along the first 5 chakras. So root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, you can stack on the side of the body, you can put in front, and all the way up to your throat. And try and have the throat one on your throat or by your throat, pregnant mamas. Do the best you can with your intention. The crystal will know what you want from it. And for the rest of us, we'll be in Starvasana. So if you have a blanket that you like to place on yourself, if you're chilly, you can grab one, or socks or a sweater. And have your crystals right by you. This can be the tricky part. So have them with you, and you're going to bring them down as you come down, nice and easy to your back. And keep your feet standing with your knees up, and you're going to place your first crystal, whichever just feels natural and resonates with you, on your root. That was our first dimension that we traveled. Then the second crystal is going to go on the lower belly. There's the sacral, the second dimension. Then you're going to put your third crystal on your solar plexus, the third dimension. The fourth on the heart, the fourth dimension. And your fifth on your throat. And then extend your legs out at the bottom like a star. And if any crystals fall, you might have to readjust them along the way. And then your arms out like a star. And begin by bringing awareness to the 5 points. Your left ankle, your right ankle, your left wrist, your head, and your right hand, your right wrist. The 5 points of your Starvasana. And then bring your awareness to your inhalation. Follow it down the nostrils and the windpipe, billowing into the belly, filling the ribs, puffing the chest, expanding into the brain. Pause at the top and exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And ride that into your own organic breath, not forcing, allowing the body to be breathed, trusting it knows how much air it needs, without the need for you to control. To release any idea that that is necessary and are needed, and to develop a fresh perspective of managing. Through this management, control can be released. It is not necessary. So any external control or pressures or schedules or sanctions or laws or rules that you might feel you have needed to keep you in line or to put you in your place, to keep you on time. Ask that all that are no longer aligned with you and the better good of the collective to be cleared away. That cement block being cleared away from the rose trying to break through. When we realize most of these limits are self-induced or inherited, that is when we have the power to shift and change and alchemize them. So in our Starvasana, I want you to imagine yourself first in this room, on the floor. And then I want you to visualize your energy filling up the space of the whole room that you're in. And with each inhale and exhale, you push yourself even farther out into the space of the home, filling every room, every closet, and then out into the whole yard or the whole building. onto the land or the surrounding area around you, the city, the town, the village. You're filling it with all of your space, your energy, all your ideas, thoughts, feelings, and actions, and the makeup of them. And with each round of breath, you expand farther into the entire province or state. And even broader into the country. And now you're expanding into several countries and taking over the whole map, all the land mass, even the largest of Russia and Canada. And now you're out into the oceans and all the lakes and rivers, and expanding now into the sky, and even farther out into the atmosphere. And all the way into space. The sun representing masculine energy, the moon representing feminine, and the star the makeup of both, the spirit. Place yourself back up in the sky with all the other fragments of yourselves. Connect back to the solar system, the Milky Way, the universe that you are a part of, that was created from a very own star, like you are now, exploding, called a supernova. Because it wanted to experience something more than just this awareness. It wanted a fleshy, human-like experience. So through the amplification of its ideas and thoughts, its electricity, and its desires and feelings, its magnetism, it got larger and louder and grew stronger and more powerful, and exploded into two, creating this duality experience. Getting to learn about itself through another version of itself. But it had to remember where it came from. It was once whole. But as a result of this supernova splitting, there were fragments that were ramifications of the process that were shot out into what is now void, or space energy did not exist. And these ramifications, these fragments that were damaged in the creation of us in this universe, these holes in feminine and masculine energy are what are creating these very false belief systems within our programming that are affecting us in various human rights issues. And our own individual selves and issues. Beliefs that we are not good enough, or that we are too much, or that we are not needed, or that we are needed, or that we do not deserve to exist. These belief systems were created as a result of the parts of us being, in a sense, rejected, shot out into void. And here out in space, representing this star, And with this awareness of these pieces of ourselves that we are here to collect, we can set the intention that any parts of us that were rejected or neglected or took on any of these belief systems along the way can start or continue their healing process. And we are open and willing to invite them back into ourself, back into our star, and that they will be cleared and cleansed of any of their false ideas and illusions about their self from the false experiences they had and took on from having imbalanced and untruthful belief systems. Can now receive love. And let's begin to bring life to our fingers and our toes by wiggling them. And trickling our stars. And on the next inhale, drawing your knees slowly into your chest. And lifting your nose up towards your knees and coming back into that tiny little seed. And promising to honor these parts of yourself as you will continue or begin to explore them this next week, and gaining further awareness of your fifth dimension and the ways in which you express yourself, and understanding how you are aligned to be exactly who you are in all scenarios by merging all of your facets of expression and becoming whole and standing strong and confident in that. Inhale to fill the belly, squeezing everything in. And exhale, release, lower the head back down. You can assist in grabbing the crystals off of you or just roll onto your right hand side and let them fall. Using your hands, tucking your chin in your chest to roll yourself back up to your feet. Finding Sukhasana or Thunderbolt pose, or the legs out in front of you to seal our practice. Spine long and tall, heart elevated up to the sky, shoulders allowing gravity to just sweetly let them hang, palms on the tops of the thighs. Chin as if you're holding a grapefruit or orange with your neck. Part the teeth, soften the jaw, close the eyes as you gaze into the backs of the eyelids into this space. And with this information and further understanding of ourselves and the creation of our human experience, we're going to start traveling back down from space. So imagine and visualize that star that you are up in the sky. And then bring your palms together and create heat. And place one hand on, oh, I'm not hearing that actually. I'm hearing playing both hands on your throat. I was going to say heart, and I said no in my head, throat. So there's the versions of myself, my higher selves working with me to help teach this class to you. And feel the heat from your hands. And begin to breathe that star into your throat, your thyroid, and your thymus. your facet of expression. And visualize an actual faucet, a sink. And it's got calcification all around it, and crusty and rusty. And it's not really a faucet you would want to drink any water from. And in your daydream, imagine that faucet, your throat, your neck. And begin to clear off any calcification from food or beverages that did not resonate with your more sensitive cellular vibration. Do not judge yourself for what you did not know. There's heavily programmed learned information trying to keep us in a much lower level conscious state. And it is our power as humans to take a step back and take our power back. And realize the trillions of years that went into creating our very special cell that gets to have these fleshy human-like experiences. Beyond that of just the daydream-like awareness. And how we get to learn from the other versions of us in this duality. And that by remembering that these are all versions of us, we will treat each other accordingly with kindness and compassion, and understand why this version of us is in our life, or what this relationship represents, or why we're having this experience. And be willing to gather all contributing factors without shifting into a victim state. I created this, this is happening for me, keeps you in the ability to shift and manage. Allowing you to release any external control or internal that is then therefore creating the external. These next few breaths, pulling your star in, and maybe you're noticing my star's resisting, it doesn't want to come. So you might have to work with your star. You might have to sit in this practice, taking yourself back into space and luring yourself back in by giving that spirit, that star, what it needs. Maybe it wants you to try something you haven't tried, a hobby that you've left behind, and that's what you need to do to lure the self back in. Trust those nudges, those ideas that come from the heart. And on your next inhale, expand your arms like wings above your head, gathering the higher self, the higher mind, the bigger perspective. Close the hands together and exhale down the midline. Bowing your head into Mother Earth as you arrive back here with a little bit more of yourself. Thanking her for allowing you to play another day. And remembering you are just this meat-covered skeleton made of stardust. And how that understanding in itself can help to knock you back into reality and out of these human, low-level ideas we can bring ourselves into.